Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, you're going to look how you can use a Power BI from the scratch until you publish it to the cloud. So you're going to use Power BI desktop and access this Power BI desktop with a COVID website, which is available online. And you're going to extract the data from from that website, and you're going to use Power Query editor to clean up the data, and finally you're going to make some reporting out of it, and in the last you're going to publish this report to the cloud version. So basically, if you want to start with your Power BI, this is just one sample flow to get on with your Power BI practice. Let's jump into this video. Go to your Power BI desktop. Is the first Power BI desktop is the first component, and the second component are using app. So Power BI desktop you will use to create reports in your local environment. Once you're done with creating this report, you will publish it to cloud. And so these are the two things, how it looks like. So you got Power BI desktop, you got cloud account, and now let's make our first move. So in our first move, what we are going to do is to first connect the data. You can connect the data from various sources you want, and you have data in many formats, and you can connect from many sources as listed here. Um, as a trial, I just want to connect some data source. So what I will do, I will connect to one of the website, and I'll bring. So go to COVID uh, coronavirus website. I'm going to use this website to create this report. Say consent. So this is one of the website which I used to monitor during the COVID time, and it was more reliable to use. So I'm just going to take this link and look for web driver, connect with the web driver and say connect. And drop your website URL in this place, and you don't have to go for advanced, just go for basic at this moment and click on OK. Just go with this default option, connect. Allow some time it to connect to the website. Select the first table from this list. Allow some time for it to process. So basically it is taking the data from the website and it is trying to load it inside the Power BI. So once I select on this table, it's just going to evaluate what do you got inside the Power BI. So just click on transform data.
And the first component which will open is Power Query Editor. And in this component, just look for the columns you needed. So most of the columns which you find it here has um, null values. I don't think we really need any of this column. So you can just remove these columns from the Power Query editor itself. Just select the column you want to use until here and right click on it and just select remove other columns. Look at this. The first step you want to see whatever changes you're doing it in Power Query editor. This applied steps is taking from you the changes. So if you want to go back from the changes, you can still do it. It will show you what has been removed from this. But if you want to go back to the previous step, you can still uh, remove that and you will find those columns has came back. But at this moment, I don't want these things to be used. So I'm just going to select up to total case and death case and population and rest of the things I'm just going to remove other columns. So there you go, you got all the reports, you got all the data you wanted to have some decent report for your first development. So just click close and apply. So it is connecting back from the website and it is taking the data, what is necessary and what you have selected in Power Query Editor to be loaded inside this Power BI desktop. And with this step, all the data which is necessary has been loaded. Now, if you go to table view, you will see what you have picked is been showing up. Now, you can go ahead and start developing some reports. Before you go there, whatever data cleaning you want to do inside the Power Query editor, you can do it right away. For that, you just go for back to Power Query editor and look for your data one by one, which data is making more sense. So for me, this data doesn't look like I need it. It doesn't give me any necessary input, so I'm just going to say remove. And of course, I need this data for country, so I'm just going to say going to make it in the right format. And if you see, you have world, Europe, Asia, India, so the data is messed up inside this, right? You have all kind of things inside this. So for that, you just going to I'm going to remove this blank. Afghanistan, of course, we need as a country. Africa, we don't need it in this list. uh okay, I'm not going to look in detail, but I believe I removed the world and I saw the continent names are available, so I'm just going to remove this South America, North America, maybe Asia, Europe. Um, it's okay. We have removed few things, and when we do the report, we will find some odd things. If you find so, we'll come back always here and we can do some cleaning work here. And this is the total case, total death. I need total recovered. Yes, we need. I don't have anything to make from these columns, so I'm just going to remove this column as well. Maybe I'm just going to leave the population at this moment, and I'm going to see what is there in blank. Okay, obviously there is some problem in this data. You have some numbers messed up. So I'm just going to pick this blank 0 to check what you have in respect to this. Okay, so we don't really need any of this, right? So I'm going back on the continent and I'm going to check this all, and I'm going to just check the continent names here. I'm just going to say okay. Okay, I think we have a decent data. I want to see how much row count you have here. I'm just going to say count. Okay, you have like 230 rows. Looks like it's been consolidated. So now if you want to go back, just remove this. I think at this moment we have cleaned enough for going for next step, and I'm just going to say close and apply. So your data is ready for use. Now let's go back to the reporting. So what are we going to do in the reporting? For me, um, first thing I will do is to have a very good space for me to develop this report. At this moment, I just have a small space, so just click on this background and go to this format your report page. Go to maybe for canvas setting, and you have type 16.9. Just click on custom and increase the space. So I'm going to increase the space to 1200 to 1600, and I can do one more thing. Go back to views and go for page view and click on fit to the width. I think you have a pretty decent space now to use for making some reports. So now the first thing I want to do is about the heading of what you're going to develop in this. So for that, I'm just going to go for insert. I'm going to say text box and going to add this one here. COVID status, and make it bold, make it center, make the size maybe 20. Select maybe 32 and leave it here. Maybe I want to do some more thing here. I'm going to change little bit bold. For that, I think the right, you can choose whichever you want. I'm just going to say COVID dashboard And I'm going to draw a line below this. Maybe not. And for now, I think we can come and change these things later. Um, yeah, so the next thing I want to do is to come and start making some reports. The first chart I want to make is um, say I want to start dropping how much um, guys have been died in COVID, what was been total cases, and how much has been recovered. So let's draw something between this. So first thing I want to do is to get a KPI, maybe not. So I'm going to go for the scorecard. I mean, delete up to here. Let's go for scorecard and drop this scorecard in this as a first page, as a first thing to see, and click on total cases. So I'm seeing there are 32 million people died with this. Um, and let's design a bit. Um, you can come back to this setting and you can make some changes from here. Um, go to sellout, make it bold, um, and color out the way you want. Every company will have different color format. You want to show it in thousands or you want to show it in millions. You can change these things as you want. And if you want the below label to be changed, you can change this contrast from here. So if you see the sum of total cases, right? Um, I don't want to see the complete sum of total cases. I just want to see total cases. So if you want to do that, simply come here and you can rename for this visual and just say total cases and say okay, and then go back and check the other properties which you want to change. Go for general, click on title and see what you got to there, but we just removed it, and click on tooltip, click on effect. I have give the shadow to yes, and maybe I think this look good at this moment, and just copy this one and paste it again and bring this way and change the total cases to total death. 7 million people died again with this, and come and rename this visual, change to total death. Um, maybe a good idea to give some space between it. Then you can do one more thing. You can get total total recovered. Um, obviously, just going to give other chart, but at this moment, let me just stop it here. And what I'm going to do is to make a small report from this place. So for that, pick the report you want and bring below this and the columns you wanted to use um, by country and how many people have been had the virus, um, and how many people have been died, how many people have been recovered, and if you want you can bring continent. I think country wise it's fine. Now you can just change this format a bit. um, so go back and look for every option you got. So I'm just going to keep bold headers, and I'm going to um, for values I'm just going to change into pretty decent format. Maybe this one, and I'm going to leave it. You can pick the way you want. Column header, totals. I'm going to leave it for default at this moment, and I'm going to move out for other options. Um, in general, I think this look okay for me. Maybe I just want it to increase some space, some size, for having a decent look for anyone to view on the report. Okay, this look good, but maybe just Arial. Yeah, and the heading look creepy. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to change it default, but I'm going to increase the size of this as well. Um, I'm going to make it bold. Yeah, that's all I think I wanted. It's fitting with what I want. Um, maybe, uh, sorry, I was trying to reduce it. Yeah, perfect. So now if you see in this one, you are not getting it total. The reason you're finding some NA inside this value. So obviously the data type of this is not having a number data type. If you want to change it, go back to transform data, click on the transform data and click on this one, and you will find this having alphabets. That's fine. Numbers, it's fine, but you have alphabet here, which is a character one. So let's change this one to numeric. Before you change this data type to numeric, you want to replace this value. For that, just go to replace value from here. I mean, just not that, actually pick up the whole column and pick up replace value and say where you got NA, just click on 0. So now I believe everything is in the number data type. So now you can go back and change this one to whole number. Yeah, that's perfect. Now click close and apply. Yeah, so you got everything in number now. So everything looks good. Um, so let's go and make some um, other charts. Um, So for me, I just want to see in graph how much the total people had the virus by continent and the country. So just click on the stacked one and bring this guy up and maybe make it a little bigger and pick up on the country and pick up on the total case. So it's going by axis, x-axis and y-axis, and I don't want to see all the countries. Maybe I just want to see first top countries. For that, you just come to this place and maybe look for this option here. No, so basically, um, pick the total cases again and drop this place and say you just want top n and say 25, and when you say by value drop back again and just say apply filter, and you found just first 25 countries who had highest cases in the planet. And now let's fine tune this a bit. So now just click on this one and go to the property. Mm, Look for the options you got. First of all, I want to change the name of this um, graph, which is sum of total cases by country. So simply you can do it in a lot of ways, but I'm just going to um, rename this and say total cases. And that's it, total cases by country. And can go back and look for options. Um, if you want to change some sliders the way you want, if you want to run it, you can run it and you can enable the options you're finding. Um, but if you want to change more colors, you can do it. Going to maybe keep the same one or the other one. Um, if you want to have different um, colors for different, you can still change it. But let me just go the default move. Um, Go to general, go to property. If you want to change the title, you can change fully from here. For me, it's looking pretty decent. Total case, maybe I just want to make it bold and make it center. I think for now this is fine. Now once you are happy with this, um, just copy this one and make another guy, other chart to come below. And if you want to see a pie chart of it by continent, just pick the pie chart from here and remove the country and add continent. So I can see the Europe and Asia is almost the highest count in the virus, and that's a good insight. If you want to just align with this report, just drag this guy a bit down, design this one below. I don't have space, so just go here and increase your setting Instead of height, instead of 1200, I'm going to make 2000, maybe just 2000. And look if you got something below. Yeah, this is sufficient. And some images, and I'm going to bring those images inside this just to have a good presentation. Total COVID cases image. Just going to say image. Total COVID. Say cartoon image for total case. Total COVID cases. Uh, Maybe this guy. And I'm going to save this guy inside my desktop. Um, Total cases. Total cases and just say yes. And total died. It's just for educational purpose. Just going to pick this. And bring back this image from image and go to desktop, total cases. Make this guy very small, a tiny one. And add him here. Uh, Maybe I can make it more smaller than this. Yeah. And another one. Um, Go for the same insert button and click on image. Click on this. I'm going to make it a very, very tiny one. And okay, so I think I can do a lot of things, but for now, I think to start up with this, I'm just going to even reduce back the size which I want. Um, Go back to settings and change this one 2200 as it was before. Uh, And that's it. So I have a compact one. So once you're done with this report, the next thing you need to do is just click on publish, and it will ask you if I can save. So save this one. So I'm going to save this one. Um, say my first report. I'll save report one and click on save. And here you can click on this my workspace and click on select. So what it is doing is it is publishing this report to Power BI Cloud service, and it has been published. Now, if you go back to your cloud inside your workspace, and you will find your report here, report one, and click on this. There you go. You got your beautiful report published inside this, and that's very good visual.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.